Hello, my name is Sam and this is Brenin.
Hello. Wait, what are we doing again?
We're introducing the reading vlog.
Okay. What's a reading vlog?
It's when Mum talks to strangers on the internet about the books she's reading.
Got it.
Really?
No, not a clue, but carry on.
Hello, my name is Sam and this is Brenin, and we'd like to welcome you to this reading vlog where our human will be reading books about dogs.
You didn't say we were in the books.
We're not.
But you said...
Never mind, we hope you enjoy the video.
Spot the dog. He thinks I can't see him. Where's Brenin? Where is he? Brenin! There he is! Good hiding, Bobby! We just followed a lady that we see up here quite often back to the car park. She has 3 Labradors and they are the most well-behaved Labradors you will ever come across in your entire life. She never has them on a lead, but they stick to her like glue. They're so well behaved. And I was trying to look ahead to see what they had in their mouths because 2 of them were carrying something, and I realised that they had a glove each. They were carrying her gloves for her. Oh, they're so sweet. Can I train you 2 to carry my gloves, please? Brenin, Sam? Not a peep. Hello? Would you like to carry my gloves? Oh. Well, enormous thanks to Sam and Brenin here for introducing the vlog. I thought I would pop on and tell you about the books that I'm hoping to read. I have 3 books that I'm hoping to get into. First up is Dog Songs by Mary Oliver. This is a collection of poetry. Now, I haven't read any Mary Oliver poetry yet, but I am fairly confident, given everything that I've heard, that I'm going to love it. And all the more so for these being a collection of poems dedicated to dogs. The next book that I have is 15 Dogs by Alexis. This is a speculative book. Apollo, I think, and Hermes get into an argument in a bar, obviously. They decide to have a bit of a bet, so they give human intelligence to a group of dogs as an experiment. It sounds like a really great time, and I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. And the last book that I have for this reading vlog is Dog by Rob Perry. This is about a young man who's kind of down on his luck. He's living in a caravan, he's not really looking after himself, and one day when he's out and about he comes across a stray greyhound, or at least he thinks it's a stray greyhound. The dog follows him home and he's a bit perplexed, but decides to take the dog on and starts looking after the dog, which is great because he's not very good at looking after himself, so looking after the dog is a good thing. But a delivery driver soon recognises this as a prize greyhound belonging to some not very nice people, and so our main character is then even more dedicated to looking after this dog and keeping him from harm from his previous owners. It sounds very lovely. So the last time I did a reading vlog reading books with dogs in them, it was a little bit hit and miss. So some of those books, the dogs didn't come off very well, which is kind of not what we're aiming for. I'm hoping that with these 3, the middle one, 15 Dogs, is questionable perhaps, but I'm hoping that these will be a really lovely time and genuinely the sort of books that dog owners and dog lovers will really, really enjoy. But I will let you know how we get on. I have started Dog Songs by Mary Oliver. I've decided to pick this up first. I'm having a really slow start to my reading in January. I've only read 2 books and we're halfway through the month, and that's quite unusual for me, but I'm allowing it. So I thought a nice gentle poetry collection might be just the thing to spark my reading at the moment. I've read only 2 or 3 so far and they're delightful, so really looking forward to getting stuck into this. It's bloody freezing today. It is a very, very cold wintry day, so today is a perfect day to snuggle up with a delightful doggish book and get cosy. Hello, I'm here with a quick update on dog songs which I finished in a day. It's delightful. I think if you're a dog lover, I think this is a really cracking little book or a little gift if you know a dog lover. It's delightful, and it's not something that you need to be if you're not a poetry reader. It's very accessible. There's not like any elusive meanings that you need to explore. It's pretty straightforward, but still really lovely and poignant. I preferred, there's 2 types of kind of poems in here. Some where she gives the dogs a voice, which is funny but also a bit abstract. But the poems that she wrote that didn't have that aspect I really loved, and she's obviously a massive dog lover herself and really captured what it means to be somebody who has a relationship with dogs. And yeah, just really, really, really beautiful. Some very sad poems in here relating to dogs that she's owned that have died, but very, very, very beautiful. And like I say, some funny. So yeah, really, really gorgeous little book. I enjoyed it very much. I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for next, whether I'll turn to 15 Dogs or Dog by Rob Parry, but you'll find out soon enough.
Yes, so this is how we sleep, living in a dual income household with our child-free parents who have our photos, their lock screen, safe in the knowledge we have a bed and a stash of treats or toys in every room.
Caricature of her own face layered from the head that left out of her, and that is kind of terrifying. Like, this uncle character already seems a little bit weird, and I'm not really foreign at all, I think.
So I'm here with Brenin and Sam to tell you I've picked up Dog by Rob Parry. Brenin, have you got any thoughts and feelings about this choice? Anything to say at all? No? It's lovely. I've read 2 chapters and I'm delighted with it. Brenin, not so much. Hello. It's been about a month since I've been up in these lovely woods, and the reason it's been so long, and the reason that it's been that long since I've done any updates on this vlog, is because poor old Brenin, the last time he was here, injured himself. So yeah, I thought I would give you a bit of an update on what's been going on our catastrophes and get the vlog going again, basically. So yeah, it was a Sunday afternoon. I was doing some grocery shopping. My partner was walking the dogs here. Brenin was having a run around with another dog, as he does, and he yelped and was lame, and obviously quite badly injured himself. So my partner, the hero that he is, carried him back to the car. I came and met them here, and we had to take him to the vets, obviously. And yeah, basically he had broken his femur in a spiral fracture, so it was in 3 pieces. Unfortunately his back legs both have hip replacements from when he had hip dysplasia as a puppy, and the hip implant on the leg that he broke was also damaged. In fact, now they think that that might have been the cause of the break, but can't be sure. So we took him to a local emergency vet, which isn't our local vet, not the vet that he's registered to, and they admitted him and eventually took some x-rays, discovered the fracture, and then we had him referred up to a vet's called Willows, which is in Solihull. That's where he had his original hip replacements done, and they are specialists and generally magical, incredible human beings that do the most amazing vet treatments. So he was admitted there with a plan to operate on his leg the next day. Unfortunately, when they put him under sedation, sorry, Sam's just getting me in a tangle. When they put him under sedation, they realised that his lungs weren't coping because the emergency vet that he went to in the first place put him on, they were really struggling to manage his pain, and so just kept putting on more and more painkillers, which made him sick. He'd inhaled some of his sick, and so he had aspiration pneumonia, which meant that his lungs weren't strong enough to sustain him through an operation. So poor love was then admitted to an intensive care unit for just over a week whilst he got better with his broken leg, until they could get his lungs strong enough and well enough to manage the operation, which they did. He was really poorly. He was really poorly. So I went up and stayed in Solihull for a few days so that I could go in and visit. So just to explain how poorly he was, he's a Labrador, a chocolate Labrador, and he wouldn't eat. He lost his appetite completely. So when I first went to see him when he was in ICU, he couldn't get up. He like there was no tail wagging or anything, barely raised his head, and they wanted me to try and tempt him with some food. They had cream cheese, they had bits of chicken, they had ham, they had wet dog food, like all of the stuff that he would normally hoover up. And yeah, he wasn't interested at all, so that's how poorly he was. And he didn't really get his appetite back until he came home, really. Yeah, so it was so rough. He was so unwell, but he was so incredibly well looked after in Willows. I can't tell you how incredible they were. You know, I was going in every day and could see that he was getting better every day. And so yeah, he eventually was able to have his operation and got his leg fixed. He got another new hip and yeah, a metal plate to hold his femur in place so that can heal, which is great. They were, hang on, let me swap hands. They were incredible. Yeah, every time I went in, I mean, I cried pretty continuously for about 3 weeks. But particularly every time I had somebody to say thank you to and how grateful I was. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. Vets do have to cope with sick animals, but also like very emotional owners too, right? Yeah, so he's home and rehabbing. So he's having physio. We're going back to Solihull on Friday this week to see the physio and possibly for a consultation. I had to send a video of him walking to the surgeon this week, and he wasn't sure about his walking, felt that he was still looking a bit lame, so yeah, we might have a consultation as well, but we'll see. So that's Friday. Yeah, so that's basically been the last few weeks. I have obviously been very distracted. I haven't been reading very much, and what I have been reading has mostly been, thank you Sam, has mostly been audiobooks. I definitely hadn't wanted to read the books about dogs that I'd started. That had to be paused, but I did start reading Dog by Rob Parry again yesterday. So I think all of that is a good sign that we're through the worst of things, shall we say. Obviously I didn't film, like I didn't vlog what was going on. I think I took a couple of clips of like the vets from the outside, but you know, I wasn't going to film my very poorly dog. That felt a bit weird. Yeah, but he's on the mend now, so you might see bits of him with his very, very bare bum, because he's had lots of hair shaved off it. He's not in a cone anymore, he's had his stitches out, so yeah, we're making good progress. So all that to say, I'm trying to get back to normal. So like I said, this is the first time that I've been up here since that happened, which is just about a month ago, I think. So I'm here just with Sam today. Here he is, doing Sam stuff. And yeah, I'm hopefully going to start reading those books again so that we can get through this vlog and I can share it with you, because I am really enjoying Dog by Rob Parry, and I love Dog Songs by Mary Oliver, and I have 15 dogs to go. So yeah, we shall pick up where we left off. Hello, I am here with a quick update. Yesterday, I'm sorry if there's noise in the background, by the way. The washing machine is just about to do a really noisy spin, and Brenin is very sad about being in dog jail, so he's a bit whiny. So if you hear background noise, sorry about that. But just to let you know, yesterday we took Brenin to physio, so we drove back up to Solihull. Traffic was horrendous, so we had a lot of time in the car. So the silver lining of that is that I listened to most of 15 Dogs by Alexis, and I have finished it off this morning. So I have read and finished 15 Dogs. So this is about Hermes and Apollo are in a bar chatting about like humanity, and they decide to have a bit of a bet about what would happen if you gave human thought to another animal. So they pick a group of dogs who are like confined in a vet's, and kind of set them free, give them human thought, and the wager is that I can't remember which way around it is, but either Hermes or Apollo bet that they will all die miserable, and the other that they will die happy. And so yeah, the story is about what happens with these dogs and how they get on with human thought and language. I'm going to preface this by saying this is not a book for dog lovers, in the sense that it's pretty brutal. There's a lot of kind of like dog on dog violence and meanness, which says a lot about humanity. I think Andre Alexis is, that's kind of what he's getting at. To a certain degree, there is some grim stuff that happens in here. So if you are a dog lover and only like to read about nice things happening to dogs, perhaps give this a miss. That said, or that aside rather, I thought this was a really interesting read. It was a really clever thought experiment, which was done in a really fun way, where you've got the gods kind of in the background as they do kind of manipulating things. So you've got, as well as Apollo and Hermes, you've also got like cameos from Zeus and the Fates in here, which was fun. And the dogs don't all stay together, they kind of go off and do different things, and so some of their stories are really heartwarming and beautiful. There's one particular dog that is kind of adopted by a couple, and the relationship that he has with the lady in that couple is just really beautiful and really something that you can relate to as a dog owner. Basically that she doesn't own him, they kind of belong to each other, and that's certainly how I've always approached my relationship with Brenin, that we belong to each other from the very first moment I picked him as a puppy. I can remember singing the song like, I belong to you, you belong to me, my sweetheart. That's a kind of thing that we have. I've never said that out loud. That's just a thing between B and I, but yeah, that really resonated with me, that sense that we don't own dogs, we, you know, you kind of build this relationship where you belong to each other. Was very beautiful. Yeah, it was really good fun. Good fun in the, with that caveat that actually some really disturbing stuff happens. Yeah, what am I saying? I found it really hard to kind of rate, because I did find it kind of unpleasant reading at times, but I think in the round I really appreciated what it did, and I liked where it landed at the end. So yeah, I had a really good time with it. I would recommend it, but perhaps not for, like I say, like ardent dog lovers who would not do well reading about like unpleasant things happening to dogs. But yeah, good time. I'm still working my way through Dog by Rob Parry. Look at the state of these dark circles. I'm still sleeping in the kitchen most nights, not every night. Duncan gives me a night off now and again, and we swap, because Brenin is still not sleeping through the night. He's been sick a little bit at night and just a bit disturbed, but last night he did sleep through. But anyway, this is the consequence of that. What was I saying? Rob Parry, Dog, still reading, still really enjoying that, but taking my time with it. But at some point in the not too distant future, we might actually get to finish this vlog. Yeah, I am off to the garden centre today to buy some. So this morning the starlings came back. We haven't seen them for ages. They're like our local kind of garden mafia. They're a really rowdy bunch, and also 2 robins, which I'm very excited about. I suspect they're nesting, so I want to go to the garden centre and get some like nesting material. You could buy like sheep's wool and stuff and something to hang it in, so that the robins can build their nest. Crazy bird lady as well as crazy dog lady over here. Oh, hello. I finished Dog by Rob Parry, so I want to tell you about it. This was gorgeous. We have finally found a book that I can wholeheartedly recommend for dog lovers. I have been questioning we're doing the kind of like reading dogs in book vlogs, thinking, is this actually a good idea for a dog lover? Because a lot of books with dogs in them actually result in bad things happening to dogs. But not this one. This is it. This was the brilliant, wholesome, heartwarming, perfect capture of the relationship, the power of and beauty of relationships between dogs and people. So Benjamin is a young man and he lives on a caravan park with his nan. His nan goes into hospital, and so he's left to fend for himself, and he doesn't do a brilliant job of it. We know from how his character is described and his behaviours, or we can infer perhaps that there is some neurodivergence there, and he's also germphobic. So it's not explicitly said, but I think there's enough in there to infer that of his character. And he's going for a walk on the beach one day, and a dog comes up to him and follows him home. And this was really disconcerting for Benjamin, first off, because dogs are full of germs. And the dog licks things and touches things and puts his dirty paws on his furniture, and it's all quite stressful for him. Anyway, he has a Chinese takeaway delivered. Him and the dog enjoy some spring rolls together. And the takeaway driver recognises the dog as a really famous racing dog, which belongs to some pretty unsavoury characters, and that's the basis of the book. It's about Benjamin and his relationship building with this dog, and also the owners trying to get it back. And there's a couple of characters in here, really lovely characters, side characters who try to help, and some who betray Benjamin, and that's the nature of the story. But it was delightful, and I'm going to give you a spoiler, but I think it's a spoiler as a dog owner that I would want to know going into a book. The dog doesn't die, which is lovely. The noise behind me is Sam rustling about, just so that you know. So yes, this was gorgeous. I loved everything about it. It's taken me, you might notice from the weather, there's blue sky, it's quite a lot later. We're now in April and I started this vlog and probably reading that book in January. The reason that it's taken me so long to read is nothing to do, it's no reflection on the book at all. Every time I've picked up and read a chapter of the book, I've really enjoyed it. It's just been circumstances with what was going on with Brenin and not being up for reading a book about a dog at that time, and then kind of getting into reading other things and just losing momentum a little bit. But like I say, I've had a delightful time reading it and wholeheartedly recommend it for the dog lovers. It was really great, really great. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of this reading vlog. Finally, 4 months in. It feels kind of weird. So Tuesday this week will be 10 weeks after Brennan's surgery, which was 2 weeks after he had his accident. And we're due to go back to the vets for a sort of last review, some x-rays to make sure everything's okay, and then he can start physio and all that good stuff. The physio was paused because it was taking a long time to heal, so he's basically this whole time been having a really boring time resting at home, not getting up to much other than mooching around the garden. So yeah, really looking forward to getting him back, getting him signed off and getting him to the physio so that he can get back to himself, come back to joining us on these lovely walks in the woods. Yeah, we're not far off that now, thank goodness. So yay, I feel like, God, what a journey this has been. I haven't even begun to think about editing this vlog, and I can't imagine how weird it must be to have watched it, so I'm sorry about that. For me, it's been a long time. For you, it will have been a very unusual, I don't know, 30 minutes, however long it ends up being. So yeah, sorry about that, but here we go. I feel like I still want to share it, and like I say, this was an absolute hit. I feel like we've struck gold for the dog lovers with this book. It was wonderful, really wonderful. So that's it. I think I can wrap things up and call this a sort of success adjacent reading vlog. Given everything that's happened, I don't think that we can say a firm success, but in terms of our reading, yeah, absolutely smashing time. I hope you're looking after yourself. I'll see you again in the next video, but if you hang on for a minute, we'll let Brenin and Sam see you off.
Not this nonsense again.
Shush. Thank you very much for watching this reading vlog. We hope that you are looking after yourself and your furry friends.
Oh yes, look after your furry friends and give them loads and loads of treats. Okay.
See you again in the next video.